Calm before the storm, Brian?
Looks that way at 22 seconds. I think it's just a case of fighting for position. I'm not saying it's a big fight at the moment, but as everybody knows, it's just when you get inside the last kind of 20-25 kilometres, keep your team leader out of trouble, right towards the front, and I think that's a case of what we've got.
No, the European Championships are on at the minute, aren't they? You can watch that live and on demand, depending on your territory restrictions. And the place to watch, Discovery Plus, GCN Plus. Brian and I are going to be with you all week until Sunday with the Tour de Luxembourg, Tour of Luxembourg. And then we're off to the Italian Classics. Plenty more still to come on the road as we move into the final month and a half of this year's 2023 season. And once we're done on the road, we'll be heading out to the Crossfield and on to the boards of the TCL, the Track Champions League, which returns for a third season. Just being left to hang to dry. If that's reminded you to take your washing in, now is not the time. Because we're approaching the final climbs and the action is about to kick off. Keep your eye on Mühlberger, Austrian champion for Movistar. He's had something of a comeback this year. We saw him in the Tour of the Alps, didn't we, after a couple of dry years without any success. Can he be the man to give Movistar some late season success? And thinking forward, thinking about the points, and it'll quickly come around, Brian. We talked about it last year, didn't we? Relegation, promotion. Movistar will be wanting to rack up the points after not an amazing period in terms of success.
Yeah, they'll be wanting what they can get, but just watch here. We came up and, you know, the young man, Wenzel, just went up to say, look, I've had enough. I don't know about you. Okay, I'll shake your hands. And there's a couple of them not willing to give up, but I think he was trying to kind of call a bit of a truce there. But I think Turgos had another idea. They want to continue. You know, these Belgian riders, they go to the end. But the young lad was like, okay, can we go back now? Can we stop my legs hopping?
I think Wenzel will think, being in one of the local teams, that he'll be sending a breakaway on at least one more occasion in this particular race. The Leopard TOGT Pro Cycling Team, development team from Luxembourg. Uno X start to show themselves on the left, just behind Lidl Trek. Wenzel continues in the end, and it's Vitor Braat who's the man who's decided to leave a gap. Look behind from Turkles. Perhaps disgusted that a fellow Belgian wouldn't want to continue in the break with him, Brian.
Now, what's Wenzel do here? He gives him a turn. Oh, I have to do this now? I thought we shook hands that we were going to get caught and that was the end of the breakaway, but you're forcing me to do another turn.
Or maybe the sports director on the radio said, hang on, we don't give up on a breakaway. They've invited us here. We ride till we get caught.
Just putting on the washing machine at the moment, Rob.
It's not quite on the top spin setting yet, is it? But it's certainly starting to ramp up. 15 seconds. And those riders being spun out the centre, they'll be spat out down the sides. Jumbo Visma start the move. We've got road furniture and roundabouts to add into the mix. Natural once we're on our way back into the capital here. That's where we started today, at the Neumünster Abbey. Twelve and a half kilometres from the conclusion of the opening day of the Skoda Tour in Luxembourg. It's the breakaway with 2 of the original 4 riders left, but the adventure is almost at an end. Mats Wenzel, Lennart Turgels, 2 riders about to be swallowed up by a chasing peloton. We're approaching the final categorised climb of the day. That's the Skoda Staffelte. And after that, we're on our way to the Kirchberg to finish this stage. The break of the day is done. It is time to go racing, Brian Smith.
Yeah, NOX coming up. We've kind of mentioned them, but we haven't seen them. I know they're riding in red, the Tour de France kit from this year. They're rather proud of it. And why not? So they've got Tobias Johannesson, who finished well in the Tour of Britain. I think this is another kind of stage race that he'll be kind of eyeing up as well. The young man that won the Tour 11 here a couple of years ago, but Lotto Destiny as well in the red, but with the blue coming up towards the front as well. But this will be a nice shot.
2 sets of brothers riding for Uno X, the Johannesson and Kulset as well. And away from rural Luxembourg back into what is a fairly cosmopolitan small city, the capital. And it's Andre Amador time. Man from Costa Rica driving things up here. Arkea Sam sticked up to lend a hand as well. There's no consistent move. It all comes together and then breaks up a little bit. 2.5 Ks long this climb, maximum 12.7%, 6.5% average, Brian.
Yeah, I think their job was to ride hard into the bottom of the climb, but a few of the riders thought, no, I'm not riding that hard. Amador goes back and then gets the peloton on the wheel and said, you're supposed to... So I think one rider's just... Something happened in the middle of the peloton there, but I think Amador led in there, but no one else followed, so the gaps opened, so he had to go back and do it all again.
Well, keep your eye on Cuccolera here, who has Richard Carapaz on his wheel. Remember, this tops out with 9 kilometres to go, so already just under 2 kilometres to the top. It's a very quick descent after that, and as soon as they're done descending, there's no flat, Brian. It's a climb to the finish on the Kirchberg.
Yeah, it's on now, and Michael Woods is up there, second place, Carapaz at the front. I think a lot of riders we're kind of talking about, a few riders being distanced at the back already, so Mark Hershey in the white on the left-hand side, Ciccone up there for Ludo Trek in the red helmet, but nobody's deciding to take it on. But I thought, by the looks of things, that EF Education Easy Post and Arkea Samsic, with the way they kind of rode into the bottom of the climb, I thought, right, they're obviously trying to look after their teammate, and we're going to see a launch, but by the looks of things, nothing's happening.
Yeah, Carapaz was at the front there. His teammate Healy was not too far behind as well. You see that Felix Gall has moved up. Remember, now Tour de France stage winner. Tishman Note sits 3 wheels from the front. Axel Laurence is the man at the front for Alpecin de Koenig in the blue jersey. And as we look at it now, for now, it's one big stalemate.
Yeah, for the moment. And potentially, I think it was a case of EF Education Easy Post. It was a case of maybe positioning for Carapaz, which he's in position. Is he going to go in the attack? We'll have to wait and see, but like you say, a bit of a kind of stalemate. Nobody wanted to take it on. Michael Woods on the right-hand side as well for Israel Premier Tech. Van Wilder for Soudal Quickstep. Victor Campanart for Lotto Destiny in the red, the light blue, but nobody really kind of wanted to go in the attack.
Kruijswijk moving up as well. Ben O'Connor's never far from the front. And now we have a move. Flanders Baloise trying to take advantage of this stalemate, try to steal a march. And Israel Premier Tech trying to join them.
Yeah, it looks like Camel Bonnet at the front there for Flanders, a rider that's slowly come to form over the last few weeks. Saw him in the Tour of Britain, he rode well there. So, like you say, taking advantage, there was nobody doing anything, so why not? But unfortunately, Michael Woods is there in tow, and I don't think anybody will want him to go.
Still just less than a kilometre to the top now. Remember the big maximum gradients, well into the double digits. Not a consistent climb though this, a couple of ramps in it. Woods looks around, sees there's a gap,
Yeah.
and of course he'll ride here.
Yeah, I think that's what he did. He looked around and thought, what? I've got a gap. And Kreuzvik is the rider at the front of the peloton.
Woods as well, Tour de France stage winner this year, remember. That wonderful return to the Puy de Dôme, wasn't it? And it was Canada Day for a second year running. Hugo Hull last time out. Michael Woods this year. That wonderful moment over in Canada in the World Tour races where we saw all three Canadian Tour de France stage winners on the same stage, because their sports director Steve Powell is there as well. But Woods here not being allowed too much rope. Karlsvik, as you mentioned, the man who's just controlling things behind. Certainly not yet as aggressive as we might have forecasted it to have been.
No, I think I said fireworks, and definitely not fireworks now. I thought there would have been a little bit more, but it's really, really conservative. And Kreuzvik, instead of letting things go, he's just tapping out a rhythm, possibly the same pace as they're doing in front. And I really do think that Michael Woods is in two minds whether to go all in for this or whether to kind of sit back a little bit. And I think it's the latter. He's not going all in. They obviously have a plan for one or two riders. I think he was a little bit surprised he got a gap, but why not push on and force the hand of the others? But I really do think that, you know, they'll be thinking of maybe someone else within their team for today.
Jumbo Visma the chase here. There's some breaking news in that. Good news for Nate van Hooydonk, who can return home from hospital today. In a sporting sense, I'm afraid it's not great news. He has been told that he must stop his professional career. Of course, we'll talk more about that tomorrow, but very, very good. And sending all our love and best to Nate van Hooydonk, who thankfully is out of hospital and is on his way home. Here's Guérin. Bonneux. And at the back, Woods, who looks behind and is just going to freewheel here. Of course, if he sees this gap and he gets towards the bottom of the final climb, he'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
there's still
really
a bit of road to
it?
do before they get there, no.
Yeah, he doesn't want to take too much of an advantage. They have clearly got another plan for someone else, because normally Michael Woods would be, you know, riding a little bit more aggressively and, you know, doing a longer pull, but he's just holding back, just like pretty much of the peloton.
Patrick Gambert here at the back. Alongside him, Alexandre Delettre. Another rider trying to jump across now. Didn't happen on the final classified climb, but we still have the Kirchberg to go. And this looks like it might well be Gregor Mühlberger. It's a rider from Movistar. Is it that Austrian Champions jersey? I think it is.
Yeah.
It's going to add some extra firepower, and the finish, you would say, is perfect for Mühlberger, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, you know, this climb, I think I said at the start, Aramburu, you know, he looked as if he's got really good form in Canada. So have a couple of options, you know, put Mühlberger here. So, oh, looked round and lost your glasses.
That's Michael Woods' glasses. He still sits here in third wheel. And now the two teams have worked longer than anybody else all day. Israel Premier Tech and Movistar have riders in this front group. Remember, Soudal Quickstep has spent most of the second half of the stage working hard too. They still have Alaphilippe, and it's they now are in the chase. 6 seconds with 7 kilometres to go. Remember, the last 1 and a bit kilometres are uphill to the line, right?
Yeah, they are. Kind of long drag up towards the finishing line, so we'll see. It's a really kind of cagey run in towards the finish. I can't still believe we're 6.6 to go. You know, especially beforehand. Normally when it's a bit cagey beforehand, we see kind of fireworks in the end, but everybody really leaving this one late.
It's been a beautiful day in Luxembourg. Haven't yet had the fireworks we expected, but this is about to come back together, I think. Or it was, until there was that little bit of hesitation at the front of the peloton again. Another kilometre ticks by, and they're going to go by very quickly until there's just under 2 to go. It's all downhill till there.
It's a big wide road now, Rob. Plenty of space, plenty of room for movement, and I think everybody's just thinking this last climb is hard enough.
It's one big effort from Soudal Quick-Step, and Masnada to close things down. Oof. And it was almost one big problem there. Right, swimming pool weather today, but they're all watching the race. Five kilometres remaining on this opening stage in Luxembourg, on the streets now of the country's capital. It's where we started today, up at Neumünster Abbey, and we're going to finish on the Kirchberg. Azure Dessert with one of the strongest riders in the race, one of the stronger riders this season, Aurélien Paré-Peintre, who's a stage winner in the Giro d'Italia. Aker Samsic now moving up, not a team we've spent most of the day talking about, not a team with their strongest lineup, but Jente Biermans likes a finish like this. Cofidis moving on the right-hand side, and they're red and white. It's been cagey, it's been conservative, certainly for the parkour today. But how's it going to finish on the opening day? Azure Dessert moving several other riders up now. 4 of their 6 are Grand Tour stage winners. 2 of them this season. Carapaz and Healy moved in there as well for EF Education Easy Post. Have to both be 2 of the big favourites. Carapaz in particular, he's another man who loves a finish like this. This is Eenkorn now for Lotto Destiny. On his wheel, Victor Campenaerts.
I think the problem here is just gaining good position and keeping good position in these kind of big open roads, fast roads. It's always that very difficult, and that's where you need your teammates to kind of look after you.
Søren Kragh is about to be put into position for Alpecin de Koning as well. You can see Valentin Madouas, the French champion, moving up on the left-hand side. He, of course, won this stage last year. He started the day with David Gaudu and Thibaut Pinot alongside him. They have both failed to finish, both said to be not feeling great. Here we go, left turn, and around 1.5 kilometres now until the start of the Kirchberg and the final climb up to the finish line today. It's Campenaerts who move to the front. EF Education Easy Post getting another man towards the front here. Looks like Rutsch. Road starts to gently go uphill, but it'll rise sharper to the line soon. Here she's never too far away, and he's a man to keep your eye on, the Swiss champion for UAE Emirates. Had an excellent race last year, winning stages, of course. One by one, they'll do their turns and start the peel off. It's been a hard day of work for Israel Premier Tech. They've really given everything today. And now it's Uhl. Left-hand side, though, an opportunity for Felix Gall, and we know he likes it uphill. He's stolen a march here, Brian.
Yeah, he has. He has, certainly has. You know, big motivation, home tour, and, you know, looking good for the moment. But I think 2.5 kilometres ago, a little bit too early. There's still a lot of riders in here just sitting and waiting. I think it's remaining patient now. It's okay making these efforts, but very difficult to keep this going with the chasing peloton.
Gall then continue to try and spin away. It's his style, isn't it? What a stage win that was towards the end of the Tour de France, let's not forget. He's had the year of his dreams. Excellent in the Alps. Superb in Swiss. And he did what he did in the Tour. Azure Dessert with one of the stronger teams here on paper. Tranchant, Peters, Paré-Peintre, O'Connor, this man and Bonamour. It's Bonamour who waits in the peloton with his teammates. Now Aker will try and close this. It's a big effort, and this is going to cause some pain in the legs of those trying to follow here, Brian.
Definitely, but he closes the gap, doesn't he? Victor Campenaerts just sitting in the wheel in 3rd place. Hershey in a very good place at the moment. There's a Few people just sitting and waiting for this kind of last acceleration.
And a gap opens now then. Soudal Quick-Step decide they have to close this. UAE are going to take the bait as well. Carapaz is there to follow in about 10th wheel. This now is Victor Campenaerts trying to violently shake the tree and see what falls. And look at the power output there. Everyone else able to follow though. And keep your eye on Van Wilder there, looking strong in third wheel.
Yeah, Carapaz also there, the Ecuadorian champion. Soren Krauw.
And now Carapaz goes.
Yep.
And now Carapaz makes his move. Richard Carapaz is away, trying to build up to the Giro di Lombardia. Remember, this is a team that's got options here because Ben Healy's following behind as well. Ilan van Wilder decides that Carapaz is dangerous enough that he will follow him, and there is peace yet again. But for now, that is until Carapaz starts to try and put the pace on the pedals again, and another gap starts to open up into the final kilometre now. It's Carapaz and Van Wilder, and now UAE close the gap. O'Connor's not far away for Agir. Movistar riders moving up. Tish Benoit is there in the yellow. Last year's winner on this stage, you can see French champion in about 20th position. Race director Schleck said he expected no more than 20 riders to the finish here. We've got many more now. Here's O'Connor as we see Benoit suddenly appearing at the front. Woods is there as well. On the right, you can see Ulissi. He likes these sort of finishes. Aramburu still in the mix, waiting for Movistar. He was Brian Smith's pick. 500 metres to go. Corbin Strong not far away as well. And Uno X now taking up at the front. Final turn on the left-hand side. Final few metres. And this is all that's left to spread it out for the win. It's an opportunity to try and lead it out. Keep your eye on Strong. Keep your eye too on Ulissi as they come to the line. It's Israel Premier Tech with Strong and a go through it. Aramburu is there. Can he come around? He'll certainly try. He's in the centre now. Alex Aramburu is there. Alex Aramburu about to hit the front, but he's not going to hit it. It's Strong who is the strongest. And Israel Premier Tech, who have worked all day long, get their award.
Longest way. Aramburu was on the wheel but just couldn't come past and had to settle for third place. Soren Krauw came very close there.
It's Corbin Strong of Israel Premier Tech and New Zealand who takes the opening stage. It is just his second career win at this level, having taken a stage of the Tour of Britain last year. And the 23-year-old from Invercargill arrives in continental Europe. And in this company, you have to say it's his biggest career win.
Yeah, I have to say that. He won similar time of the year last year in the Tour of Britain at Glenshee. And it was another kind of long, kind of uphill, kind of slow headwind finish. And he was strong enough to win it. But that wasn't a fast sprint in the end. But, you know, it's just who had